Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking a look at a super practical guide on how to stop guessing and start building a digital marketing system that actually sustains itself. If you've been, just throwing ideas at the wall, hoping anything sticks, well, you can take a deep breath. You're absolutely in the right place because we're going to completely transform how you approach your growth strategy. So, right off the bat, let's establish a really clear contrast here. You see, amateurs constantly suffer from what we call tactic fatigue. They're always chasing those viral views, trying to be everywhere on every single platform, and honestly, they just end up with this tangled mess of unpredictable results. But the master marketers, they build a practical, repeatable machine. They focus entirely on measurable outcomes and systematically connect the exact right message to the exact right audience. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're breaking this massive topic down into 5 easy steps. First, moving beyond isolated tactics. Then, building your core foundation, fueling the growth engine, mastering measurement and AI, and finally, getting you set up with a 90-day action plan. All right, let's dive into step 1, beyond isolated marketing tactics, moving from tricks to systems. Okay, so to actually build a system, we first need to get on the same page about what digital marketing even is. Simply put, it's the process of attracting attention, building trust, creating demand, and eventually converting people through digital channels. The really crucial takeaway here, the strongest marketers out there don't just randomly buy ads or jump onto a new platform just because it's the trendy thing to do. No, they start with a crystal clear customer problem, and then they build a system to solve it at the exact right moment. Moving right along to step 2, building your core foundation. Before algorithms, understand humans. Now, effective marketing absolutely always begins with understanding the actual human being you want to help. Seriously, before you write a single piece of copy, you've got to map out your customer's mindset. What's keeping them up at night? Document the exact questions they ask before buying. It's like the old saying, people don't want to buy a mattress, they just want a good night's sleep. So map out those deep desires and their frustrations. Truly understanding this human element is, hands down, your greatest business advantage. And once you actually know your audience inside and out, you build your brand directly on top of that knowledge. Because listen, a brand is not just a fancy logo or a cool color palette. It's the expectation people form about the experience they're going to receive from you. A truly powerful brand needs a clear promise, a super consistent identity, and, this is key, evidence to actually support its claims. Basically, every single interaction has to reinforce the promise you're making to them. Which brings us to step 3, fueling the growth engine. We're talking channels, content, and the marketing funnel. So all of those different channels and interactions, they come together to form your marketing funnel. And the funnel's entire job is to systematically turn complete strangers into passionate advocates for your business. You start by creating awareness, then you capture their interest, slowly move them into consideration, drive that all-important conversion, focus heavily on retention, and ultimately turn them into an extension of your own marketing team through advocacy. Literally every piece of content you create needs to intentionally serve one of these specific steps. Okay, so how do we practically fuel this funnel? Well, first off, please don't try to be everywhere all at once. Pick a small number of platforms and use them incredibly well. On social media, treat it like a two-way street. Actually respond to comments, Don't just use it as a megaphone. And if you're a B2B business, maybe save the viral dance trends for your personal account unless it really, really fits. On YouTube, deliver the value you promised immediately. Nobody wants to sit through a 3-minute intro. For SEO, focus on answering the complete questions your customers are actually typing into Google. And finally, secure your audience by building a permission-based email list and give them a real, solid reason to stick around. Now, all of those channels we just talked about, they should point to one specific place, your website or landing page. This is your conversion hub. And remember this, because it's crucial. Attention is not the same as action. Your landing page has to do some heavy lifting. You need to make your value proposition blindingly obvious right away. Eliminate friction by reducing choices, use your audience research to actively handle their objections, and feature one highly visible call to action. Taking that next step should feel incredibly simple for them. Moving into step 4, measurement, AI, and optimization. This is all about turning guesswork into a learning system. All right, so this is how you actually stop guessing. You map your daily activities to real, tangible business outcomes. If you want to measure content distribution, you need to look at reach and impressions. Checking content quality, look at engagement and watch time. To measure demand generation, you track your leads and your conversion rates.
And for true commercial performance, well, that's your customer acquisition cost, your overall revenue, and your return on ad spend. This framework right here ensures you're measuring what actually moves the needle instead of just blindly chasing vanity metrics.
And look, we really can't talk about optimization these days without bringing up AI. AI is a fantastic tool to thoughtfully accelerate your brainstorming and speed up creating content variations. But, and this is a massive but, it has to increase human capability, not replace human judgment. Trust is incredibly hard to build and so easy to lose. Nobody wants to buy from a hallucinating chatbot, right? So always verify important claims and make sure a real human reviews all your customer-facing content before you hit publish. Sometimes, the most crucial part of optimization is simply knowing what not to do. You've got to avoid these classic amateur mistakes. Resist the urge to try and conquer every single platform or to just copy your competitors. Honestly, you usually have no idea if their strategy is even working in the first place. Don't chase viral views that don't actually convert to revenue, and please, never ignore your metrics. Perhaps most importantly, choose a focused strategy and actually stick with it long enough to learn from the data. Just try to improve one major bottleneck at a time. Finally, step 5, your 90-day action plan, turning the key on your system. Look, building this system definitely doesn't happen overnight. It's something that compounds over time. In month 1, your only job is establishing foundations, defining your exact audience, your offer, your positioning, and getting a basic, high-converting website live. Then in month 2, you move into experimentation. This is where you increase your publishing cadence and start building out repeatable content themes. By month 3, you shift gears into optimization. You look closely at the data, figure out what performed best, and then scale up your absolute strongest channels. Now, as you execute that plan, I'd highly recommend keeping this quick checklist handy to make sure your system stays on track. Ask yourself, do I know exactly who I'm helping? Does my offer solve a specific problem? Does my brand communicate a clear promise? Do I have a repeatable content plan? Is my call to action super obvious? And finally, am I tracking meaningful business metrics? If you can confidently check all these boxes, your system is literally designed to win. Ultimately, the source really drives home one defining philosophy here. Marketing is not some random collection of magic tricks. It's a disciplined, rigorous process. Your true competitive advantage isn't a secret hack. It's simply your ability to understand your audience better than anyone else, create genuinely useful value, distribute that value consistently, and use your measurements to learn way faster than your competitors ever could. Which leaves us with this final critical question for your business today. Take a hard look at your daily operations. Are you going to keep exhausting yourself chasing after the next big secret marketing tactic? Or are you ready to finally build a disciplined system to outlearn your competitors? Make no mistake, the choice you make here dictates your growth. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, good luck taking that first step on your 90-day plan today.